The five most public plays for this Sunday and Monday in the NFL. Week 15 Sunday and Monday covered for you in this video. Going to get to the most public sides for you in just a moment. Hi, I'm Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, back here on WagerTalk TV, breaking down Week 15 public action in the NFL. And you know, it always works well fading the public in December. I've said that year after year, it gets stronger and stronger. Last week, fading the most public sides and totals in Week 14 went 5-2 in this video. We also went 4-3 fading the public the week before. So now 9-5 combined. Continue to win in the month of December. Let's see if the public gives it to us again this week. I've got 4 public sides for Sunday. Also a lean for you on the Monday night game as well, which I'm going to get to at the end of this video. But first, let's start with the most public play in Week 15. In fact, one of the most public plays I've seen all season in the NFL, and that is the Atlanta Falcons. And it's not necessarily the Falcons. It's more fading the Carolina Panthers. We've talked about this each and every week, and it continues to work. The public fades the Panthers. The public continues to cash. What's going to change? Well, we'll see if it changes this week. Hard to make a case for Carolina. They're just 1-12 straight up on the season. They've only covered twice in those 13 games. And keep in mind, their only straight up win, and one of those covers was after their bye week a month and a half ago, and they had extra time to prep. They beat Houston. They have since gone 0-6 straight up. 1-4-1 against the spread in their last 6 games. And it did not get any better last week. The public backed the Saints, who had only covered also 2 games all season. 2 covered Saints laying almost a touchdown, and they still got it done 28-6. Hard for me to make a case for the Carolina Panthers. Yes, the lines are inflated, but once again on the road, not much of a line here because it's only 2.5, 3. With this said, it probably would have been less than a field goal just a couple weeks ago. It is 2.5 in some spots, 3 in others. If you like the Panthers, definitely wait. You should be able to get a +3 or more by Sunday afternoon. If you'd like Atlanta, I'd grab those 2.5s that are straggling because once again, Panthers are one of the most public, or the Falcons rather, one of the most public sides I've seen all year in the NFL. Not a surprise. The public's made a lot of money this year fading the Panthers. In fact, overall this season, all the plays I've given you about 500 in this video. If you take away just the Panther games, you've done quite well fading the public. This has been the one real outlier, and Bryce Young and company continue to struggle. And once again, Atlanta Falcons, the most public play here in Week 15, 1 o'clock Eastern on Fox. All right, another game that's very public on Sunday that we're going to look at here is the LA Rams against not my Washington Commanders. That's right, the Commanders coming off a bye week, though. You know, I mentioned how Carolina's only win of the season and one of their only 2 covers of the season was when they had the bye. So, yes, bye weeks historically do favor struggling teams, and historically bad teams off a bye have been a pretty good play over the years, especially late in the season. And the Commanders were the last team in the NFL to get their bye, and boy, did they need it. They've been giving up points at a premium. In fact, they've gone over 5 of their last 6 games. I did a standalone solo video for this game earlier in the week, Rams Commanders, here on WagerTalk TV, and I mentioned how my clients and I have profited big time by playing the overs. In fact, going back to the trade deadline, the last week of October, when they dealt both starting defensive ends, Sweat and Young, they've gone 5-1 to the over. The only game that stayed under was that New England game about a month and a half ago. But keep in mind, the 37 points was in the third quarter, and then nobody scored again, and it stayed under by a field goal. Otherwise, they'd be a perfect 6-0 the over. Yes, they probably worked on their defense a bit during the bye week. Not sure it's going to matter, though. They just don't have the weapons now to compete. The Rams have been playing really good offensively. They are struggling at times this year, but Matthew Stafford is playing excellent football the past several weeks. And the Rams have scored 31 points or more now in 3 straight games, and they've gone 3-1 straight up in ATS in their last 4 games. So definitely understandable why the public is back in the Rams. But once again, the Commanders do qualify in some good contrarian indicators here. Bad teams off a bye, bad teams on extended straight-up ATS losing streak. So this line is inflated. Would have probably been a little bit lower. In fact, the look-ahead line this summer was as low as -1. And now we've got the Rams laying 6.5 points. So it's nearly a touchdown higher, and that's why fading the public in December usually starts to work because we get adjusted line value. Commanders off the bye, maybe that's a reason to take them this week. Hey, comment below. Let me know your thoughts on this game. Do you possibly back the Panthers this week? I know it's hard to make a case for them at just +2.5 or +3, but what about not my Washington Commanders? Do we take a shot with them this week off the bye? Line is definitely inflated based on recent results, but then again, that Commander defense has been pretty bad in recent weeks. All right, those are the 2 most public favorites here for Sunday. Going to give you 2 public underdogs. That's right, there are 2 public dogs on the Sunday card. Also going to give you the Monday night game here in just a moment. But first, I want to let you know a couple things. First of all, I turned 50 this week, and not that that's a big deal, but it's been well known on Wager Talk. Birthday candles prove it. I got the little icon here that was on the cake. But here's the deal. I'm 50. That means I'm halfway to 100. So WagerTalk's doing a very special offer through this weekend. You can get 50% off, half off any subscription on my page through this weekend. But you got to act now. There's just a couple days left before the prices go back to normal. It can be a 1 day, it can be a 1 week, it can be a 1 month, it can be a 1 year, but you got to use promo code halfway. You see it on the screen there. Use promo code halfway on any subscription you purchase this weekend on my page, and you get an instant 50% discount. Hey, look, the 1 year special saves you $1,000 instantly. You talk about smart holiday shopping. Wow. Many of you have taken advantage of that, and why not enter this weekend on a 26-9, 74% all sport run on best bets the past couple of weeks in football and basketball combined. NFL Sundays, the last 4 Sundays, 12-4, 75% of my NFL Sunday best bets. I love this Sunday's card. Check it out right now on my page. And when you do so, highly consider a subscription because you get an instant 50% discount this weekend with promo code halfway. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. All right, let's get to those 2 public underdogs for Sunday. I love to fade public dogs, and one of the reasons is because the public normally plays favorites, and they normally play against bad teams. Obviously the Panthers and Commanders we've talked about are bad teams. But the beauty of fading public dogs is you actually get good teams to fade them with. Not necessarily the case in this game, though. This is one case in which I don't disagree with the public dog, and the public is on DeVito and his Giants, the New York Giants, backed by superstar Tommy DeVito, and boy, has DeVito played well. His last 3 full games as a starter, QB ratings of 104 or higher against the Commanders, the Patriots, and the Packers. Obviously, the Commanders' defense not very good, but the Patriots are a good defensive team this year. He had a good QB rating there, and the Packers have been playing excellent football recently, and they pulled the upset last week at Green Bay. Problem with back in New Orleans is I'm not sure they qualify as a good team. I mentioned last week that the public was on the Saints. Saints had only 2 spread wins, but they weren't on the Saints. They were fading the Panthers last week like they do every week, and right back to fading the Saints again this week. And even though New Orleans got that win against the worst team in the NFL, keep in mind they'd lost 3 in a row before that, and they'd lost 4 in a row against the spread. They're still just 1-4 ATS their last 5, and they're still just 3-9 against the spread with a push this season. So I'm in no hurry to lay this many points with a bad team like New Orleans. The current line is 5.5. Doesn't look like the markets have priced in the fact that Tommy DeVito has maybe sparked this Giants squad. So one of the rare instances where I'm not going to fade a public dog. I actually would lean towards New York in this game, but wanted to give it out to you still because it is what it is. Public is on the Giants this week, but I don't necessarily disagree. And one thing I'll point out, if you filter out the games in which there's backup quarterbacks, quarterback situations, fading the public works better long term. And that's because a lot of times the betting markets and the odds makers do not accurately correct for quarterback situations and injuries. So I wanted to point that out. Yet another reason why I'd be only a little lukewarm fading this public dog here on Sunday. Now, there is another public dog I agree with fading, and that's the late game, the primetime game at 4:25 Eastern on Fox, Cowboys at Bills. And yes, the public is on the Dallas Cowboys as expected. I did a solo preview video this week here on WagerTalk TV, 5-6 minute video breaking this game down in depth. Be sure to check that out here on the channel after you watch this. And I mentioned earlier in the week when I recorded it that I thought the Cowboys were looking pretty public, and it's official. The Cowboys are a public underdog this Sunday, and I would agree with fading this public dog. And once again, we're getting a quality team doing so. Unlike the 3 spread win Saints, we're getting the Buffalo Bills, who I know are just 7-6 on the season, but they're still one of the most talented teams in the NFL, and they showed that with the upset win last week at Kansas City. And yes, you could say it's a bit of a flat spot after the dog win at Kansas City, but it's not because Buffalo's back at home and they have to keep winning. They're just 7-6 straight up on the season. In fact, there are betting odds at many sports books right now. Will the Bills make the playoffs? 49% chance yes, 51% chance no. It's -104 yes, -116 no. After the Bills, if the Bills win this game Sunday, it obviously will be much higher than 50%. So it's a very important game. And I think Dallas could be the team that regresses a bit after their biggest win of the season against Philadelphia Eagles. It was a revenge spot, and they also had them on Sunday Night Football. Now they're traveling for a non-conference road game up to the cold Northeast. Not a good setup for Dallas, and they also have Miami on deck, Detroit after this. Not that they're going to overlook the Bills. I'm just not sure they're going to be 100% ready for this game. After 5 straight wins, 4 of those 5 games they've covered. But once again, they beat the Giants, Panthers, and Commanders until they just beat the Seahawks and the Eagles. Could be a little bit of a flat spot here for Dallas. And we're getting some line value here as well. Look ahead line this summer was going to be around -4. Now it's less than a field goal, currently only about 1.5. And I think this might drop a bit. It looks like the sharps are on Buffalo, though. I'd have seen some twos pop up in some spots this week. So it'll be interesting to see how much the public pushes it back down when it kicks off late at 4:25 Eastern on Sunday afternoon on Fox. All right, those are your four most public plays for Sunday. Two favorites, two dogs. Also want to touch quickly on the Monday night football game because we do have some public sentiment. Quick reminder, though, promo code, as you see on the screen there, halfway gets you an instant 50% discount on any subscription on my page this weekend, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. All right, the Monday night game, Eagles at Seahawks. I just mentioned how the Eagles lost that game on Sunday last week against the Cowboys on Sunday night. Also lost, of course, to the Niners the week before that. So here we're getting a quality team in the Eagles bounce back spot off back-to-back losses. So not a surprise that the public is backing the Eagles. Now, this is a lean only, not an official public play, but an additional lean. And since it's the Monday night game, I wanted to make sure I gave it to you here in the video. And part of the reason is because the Seahawks might be without Geno Smith again. He missed last week with a groin injury against San Francisco. They lost but covered the spread, losing by just 12 as a 14-point dog. Of course, Drew Lock was the quarterback in that game last week. Overall, average performance, a 92 quarterback rating, 2 touchdowns, but also 2 interceptions. Smith was limited in practice on Friday. Has not been announced as we head into the weekend whether he's going to start or not. So a lot of uncertainty for this game, but the public is leaning towards Philadelphia to bounce back after their 2 straight losses the last couple weeks. Once again, not an official public play, but an additional public lean on the Eagles Monday Night Football that I wanted to point out to you here on this video. All right, that's everything for Sunday and Monday. 4 plays on Sunday to fade and also the additional lean for Monday Night Football. Don't forget, if you want my official best bets, you might want to check them out. I love this card on Sunday, and we are red hot in the NFL. The last 4 Sundays, 12-4, 75% of my NFL best bets. All sports has been red hot too. College and pro football, college and pro basketball. Headed into this weekend on a 26-9, 74% all sports run. And it gets even better when you play consistently every day. Never miss a play. Get a direct subscription. And if you do it this weekend, you save big because we're celebrating. I'm halfway there, 50, halfway to 100, and you get half price off any package this weekend and this weekend only at WagerTalk.com. Use promo code halfway. It can be a 1 day, a 1 week, a 1 month, even that 1 year all sports, all access, which saves you an instant $1,000 discount. That is smart holiday shopping right there. I know many of you have taken advantage of that offer already this weekend and locked up a full year of all sports, football, baseball, basketball every day. But even if you want to start smaller with a 1 week, a 1 month, even a 1 day, try it out now because you get an instant half price, 50% discount by using promo code halfway. But you got to do it this weekend. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. Don't forget, I post free plays daily on my page. Yet another reason to check out my page every day at WagerTalk.com. Get those bonus free plays along with those special promo codes. Also, follow me on Twitter at Steve Merril, 2 R's, 1 L, at Steve Merril on Twitter. Also post on Instagram now. Yeah, I'm on IG. Who knew? Follow me on Instagram along with Wager Talk. And stay tuned right here on Wager Talk TV for more great NFL preview videos coming up throughout the weekend. And don't forget, comment below. Let me know your thoughts on these NFL games. I read all the comments. I reply back. Where do you agree or disagree with the public here in Week 15? What are some of your best bets? Include some analysis as well so we can learn and earn together here on Wager Talk TV. Thumbs up, a like, and don't forget, hit subscribe and hit the bell for instant alerts so you know when my NFL Fade the Public videos go up each and every week. Enjoy the games on Sunday and Monday. Best of luck, and I'll talk to you again soon.